X, the animated series, is based on a manga and a film that was filmed in 1997. Once again, this story is based on the post-apocalyptic struggle of fighting for mankind. The future is once again out of time, and Kamui stands alone at the crossroads between salvation and Armageddon. Destiny demands that this tormented young man decide the fate of the world he no longer belongs in. Torn between rival orders of superhuman warriors, the time has come for Kamui to choose his side. Either he fights with the dragons of heaven to save civilization, or he must draw swords alongside the dragons of the earth and deliver a death blow to the human race. Whatever his choice, there will be consequences. Now, I remember on my reviews, when I reviewed X and I reviewed Tokyo Babylon, I easily recommended you guys to watch the shows first before you even think about touching the movie. The 1997 movie is what I'm essentially saying. Because that movie had problems. It was good with its potential, but it was lacking a whole lot of source material when it comes to the characters, with the development of the story, and just us giving a damn about the whole situation when things went under peril, because once again, we didn't really care about the characters. So when things went down, we didn't really care about the deaths. We was shocked. I mean, I and the audience that watched the film could agree that we was all shocked when it comes to the deaths of the movie. The movie had problems. The movie had problems that need improvements. And the reason why I wanted you guys to watch the series first, because the problems that was in the film got fixed on the animated series. They fixed everything on the animated series. But the character build-up, the story build-up, the character development, every freaking thing was polished great. But does that mean it's perfect? Let's get right down to it. First, let's start with the story. The story development was great. From start to near the end. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you know how when the character development and when the story development progresses and progresses and progresses throughout the whole franchise of what we're watching or what we're, getting ourselves into, it can be ruined by just an idiotic decision or just the way how developers or producers want, what we're watching to be in the whole climactic scene. I'm not saying the ending of the series was bad, but what I'm saying is that it's going to be hard for you to sink in of everything that got built up. But in my case, when I first watched it when I was very young, I was a little disappointed. In fact, it gave me X the movie vibes, and that's not good. But as I've gotten older and as me watching it again, I have grown to accept it. After everything that they improved with this series, I was like, you know what? It's not perfect, but I'll accept it. Now, the character development, compared to the movie, because like I said, the character development in the film had problems. Like, that's what basically drew the whole film apart, because we didn't know anything about the characters at all. Some of us didn't even know the characters' actual full names. We didn't really know what their premise was, how they even got these powers. But on this series, it's like they listened to us. They have given us not just dialogue of what these characters was, but they gave us how they got originated, how they even joined the freaking dragons of the earth, and the dragons of heaven as well. And they even gave us a backstory of their own family. Every single person on this series has a good story. Everyone.
What do you mean everyone?
Everyone! Kamui's dark past, if you've seen the movie already, you already know how Kamui was able to become the savior and stuff. But they explained it in a more detailed way on this one, even with Kotari and when it comes to Fuma. I was a little iffy about Fuma's story, but compared to the movie, again, it was acceptable. I was able to, to abide by it. But my three mains, they did right. They even, they did Sorata right, and I was surprised how well they did Sorata, even though he had a love interest for Arashi, and she kept bagging him down or whatever, but she easily grown on him. And they even showed a freaking bondage scene when they was with each other and stuff, and she was just so shy. That actually touched me a lot, because we didn't get none of that in the freaking film. Now for Karen Kasumi, her story, they did her well because, you know, she does fire. She has fire elements. And I had no idea about this. They made her be a Satanist, have her be into religion and her having a big faith in God and stuff. And even though they done all that with her past was actually more traumatizing than anybody else's. A lot of people had like a dark past on the show, but with hers it was more traumatizing because when she was a little girl, they showed a scene where when her and her mom was busy praying for God and stuff, and she was actually showing Karen, you know, her beliefs and just having faith and everything, but she wasn't even aware that she even had fire. Neither did Karen. But then when she began to get older and when she showed her, you know, that she was beginning to use fire, then that was when she thought that she was a witch. She actually began to try to kill her own daughter, and it was very crazy. And it kind of made me drawn into the fact that, you know, Karen is more than just a character that I love. This is a character that I want to see her grow in the future. And for my girl, Yuzuriha motherfucking Nekoi, they have done Yuzuriha fucking Nekoi without a doubt, a very good service on this one. Compared to the freaking movie where she was just a letdown, she kind of felt like she was in the way of her and the dog. And there was even a scene where she was even aware of it.
Kamui! Keep an eye on Yuzuriha, will you?
I'm not completely helpless.
They have done fucking Yuzuriha motherfucking Nekoi perfect on this damn show. Not only that she stands out and she ends up helping people, but she even pulls her own weight at certain times. Even the freaking Phantom Dog does a lot more on this one. Like I said, enough about all that. Everybody does a freaking fantastic job on here. Everybody. And then the crazy part about it is that when everybody was beginning to progress and everybody was you was getting to love more about these characters, you didn't want them to get killed. They did that perfect on this show. Even though I still want them to make a movie franchise about it, I did not mind them going all out when it comes to, you know, making the character development span out on the show. Even Subaru Sumeragi does a great job on here, and they explain more about his backstory and his sister and his best friend more than they did with Tokyo Babylon. That's why I gave it a premature rating, because even though I love the show and I love the OVAs, they didn't really give me much of a backstory of just how he got originated, but they showed everything on this show. They showed everything on the X animated series. Now, the drama and fight scenes, I can see that they try to put more than just the fighting elements to it. They put a whole lot of dramatic scenes, a whole lot of tormenting scenes for you to get immersed with the characters and stuff. As for the animation was good. I can't say mind-blowing. I mean, Funimation did it. With Funimation, they either make beautiful animes and they either make mediocre animes and they make terrible animes with the visual. With this, it's in between. Half great, half terrible. But don't let that defeat you with the whole overall package of the whole anime franchise itself. Like I said, the story build-up is great. The character development is fantastic. It's like they took everything that was wrong with the movie and they ended up fixing it with the whole freaking series. And they did it very well. They did every single character, including Kamui himself. They still made him a softie, which was a major complaint in my opinion on a movie, because if he's going to be a main, don't make him be annoying and do not make him be a punk. They didn't make him a punk on this one. They kind of make him more of a hesitant fighter on this one, and it's again explained. I was like, okay, I can roll with it. Okay, all right, okay. And when he fought. And it was an acceptable fight, actually, because he was fighting against his best friend Fuma. Now Fuma, he's vicious, but he's not as vicious as the movie Fuma, because the movie Fuma is actually more, he doesn't care on the movie. He's emotionless. He is soulless on a freaking film, and I kind of want him to be like this on this one, but there's still a little element of himself on the show. So I bought that as well. So they both kind of hesitated, but but Fuma's the bad guy, so of course he's gonna be more reckless and be more agile than Kamui. So I bought that as well. Now, as for Kotori, they did Kotori better on the movie as well too. Like I said, they did everybody better. But at the same time, I really just like the movie, I didn't really care about her premise at all. I already knew about her fate in this one. So when you see her, you already know what's gonna happen. She's like, not to spoil it, but she's like the Ares of Final Fantasy. You know what's gonna happen, but then again, you don't care. You're just here to do what you're gonna do. you know, and that's essentially what she is. She is basically like the climactic of what makes a story build up, so you can do what you have to do to prevail, and that's what Kotori is. Even though they explain her backstory and they explain like her premise and why she does the things that she does, but facts are still facts. You know what's gonna happen, and even though they gave us a good story to it, I guess it's to make us have more of a sentimental feel with her, and it kind of worked, but at the same time, you was ready for it. Sentimental situations only works when you're not prepared for what's going to happen, but when you know what's going to happen, you shield your tears. One more thing is the soundtrack. It gives me like the same similar vibes as a movie. Now, I had no problem with the anime movie soundtrack. I actually thought it was pretty good. The whole jazzy apocalyptic feel to it, especially when it comes to their fights, their traumatizing scenes and stuff. They was able to match that great with the movie. This one, they done it just as well. In fact, a little bit more better in a way. I just like the fact that, see, that's the problem that Tokyo Babylon had. I mean, they did their scenes great when it comes to their musicology, when it comes to them blending into the fights. But when they choose their theme songs, it was just terrible. But they done it right with the series on X the Animated Series. They've done the opening scene. They kind of gives you like this rock element, apocalyptic feel to it, where Kamui is running into the collapsing world and trying to fight his best friend and rival Fuma. It's very catchy. The beat is very nice. Light. Very catchy beat. Very catchy lyrics. Like it gets you pumped, it gets you immersed, it gets you ready to what you're going to watch and what's to come when you watch the series as the show goes on. I never even skipped the introduction at all. Now, as for the outroduction, I don't even know if I'm ready to express this, but the outroduction is one of the best motherfucking outroductions I've ever fucking heard in the anime. Very old outroduction song, but very touching. Every time I hear it like that, it's just, when you watch X the Animated Series, all the death, all the destruction, all the, the fights and just the glorified experiences and the traumatizing moments that you experience, when you go through the outroduction ending of the anime, it calms you down. It makes you feel comfort. As the piano and as the chill voice of the anime kind of settles you in, and then the lyrics just tune you in, and I love it so much, and I never get tired of playing it. That's a song that's worth downloading. It's chill, it's beautiful, in the background it shows like an angel and an anti-angel of Kamui as they trying to hold hands. Well, that's not really saying much. When it comes to the anime of X or whatever, they are very known with their anime quality, of their detail. They have very good graphics of their angel wings, and just showing a lot of beautiful scenes of not just death and destruction, but also when it comes to having characters like exposing their powers in the background and just blending into the environment. They do that a lot when it comes to their 1999 film, which is kind of a letdown on this one, because it's not the same people who made the movie who made the show, and I kind of wish they reconnected with the people who made the graphics of the movie, so they can make it more better on this one. Because I've seen some parts on this series that made me like, that don't look too good. That made me cringe a little bit. It gave me some Blood Sea vibes, is what I'm essentially saying. But yeah, that's basically it. They improved a lot on this one. And it's just like how I said before, if you're going to watch X, this is how I want you guys to watch it. Because I know I keep saying this, but I need to say this just so you guys don't make a mistake. If you're going to jump into the fan of the X franchise, I highly suggest you guys watch the series first. But before you watch the series, if you want to be a diehard fan, then read the books. I have the mangas. So, yeah, watch the series first, then watch Tokyo Babylon, then watch X the movie. So when you watch X the movie after you got these in your brain, then you'll have knowledge of the characters already. So when things start happening, at least you won't be a little too let down. X the series is a masterpiece, and I kind of hope that they continue this off or just make some remastered franchises to it, because I wouldn't mind buying this on Blu-ray, or like I said before, have it to make it to be like each of these characters have their own movie. Karen Katsumi, as I explained it, when she was tormented when she was a kid, when her mom tried to kill her, when she thought she was a freaking witch, when she was using the fire and stuff, that would be a very good documentary anime movie for her. Everybody deserves a movie. Arashi, Yuzuri, a motherfucking Nekoi, like everybody deserves a freaking film. And then after that, then you can do the whole Avengers scandal where they all team up together to help Kamui defeat his best friend Fuma. And the anime series is a very good top of the line for that. And I highly suggest you guys watch this if you guys like anime like this. I'm gonna have to give X the animated series an A. Despite all the minor issues and the flaws that the anime has, it's not really something for you to be nitpicking about when it comes to you saying that I don't want to watch this. It's very, it's something that I don't want to get myself into. Listen, if you like action, if you like drama, if you like tormenting, if you just like scenes and you just like animes that just kind of get you into that scale of just being immersed, but at the same time getting mind blown of what's going to happen, then X is like something that you should not be avoiding. All these new animes that's out and stuff, and I'm busy doing reviews on low-key animes and stuff, that's because no one talks about this. Like I said, I'm not about trying to get my channel popping and booming with posting everything that's new and everybody's talking about. No, I've been trying to get my channel started by posting things that I have grown to love as a child first. And then when that stuff happens, when people get blown up to what I'm posting and what I'm saying, then I might just get mainstream and then I just say what I need to. This time the clock beat me. This time the clock beat me. But I did take longer than I expected. But anyway, stay tuned for more of my anime reviews and videos coming your way. And this is CT, your critic teacher. And you guys have a good day.